Hello and welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in The Sims 4, and this time we are going a little bit tropical. So the weather's been rubbish here in the UK, I think it's safe to say, and I was just looking at holiday homes around the world, places to stay, somewhere nice and warm, tropical, dreaming away, and thought, you know what, let's just build one. So that's kind of what I've done. It's a little bit of a hodgepodge at this stage. The inspiration I got was from somewhere, I think in the Caribbean. I'm not 100% sure, like what island, where, anything. Anyway, it had these sort of like nice big sort of tiered kind of sort of areas out the front, and I thought we can definitely do something kind of similar, using different sort of foundation heights and things. It just means that sort of stairs are a little bit of a weird one, but yeah, it looks a little bit odd at this stage, let's put it that way, but it does come out pretty good in the end, once I've done everything in here. Anyway, at least I think so. Let me know what you think in the comments in here. So we are currently building this on like one of the beach lots in Sulani. It's not a world I've built in very often, and I've got to be honest, I don't really like it normally. I've got to be fair, when taking the screenshots of this, the lighting was really good. Obviously I did have Sims on the lot, and most of the shots are actually taken at night, and that's because that's just when the lighting was and when I put the Sims in, but it actually looks pretty good, I think. Again, let me know. What is your favourite world to build in? Is it Sulani? Is it Brindleton Bay? Is it Hadford Bagley? Let me know. I think we all know what my favourite lot is, but that's just... Anyway, we are doing here. So this ends up becoming a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom holiday home. So it is actually a holiday rental. But obviously you can have this as your family home if you wanted. The way that I was kind of doing it was that it was going to be impersonal, so there's not any like personal sort of knickknacks or anything like that around. There's a few bits and pieces of like clutter here and there, but I think I've tried to keep it to a minimum as much as I can, so that it kind of feels more like a holiday home. Which I thought, as a holiday home, this is actually going to be a pretty nice place to be. Now I am doing this with a limited packs. I quite like doing these, I've got to be fair. So this one has obviously base game, island living. Obviously it's mostly island living. My wedding stories, and then the desert luxe kit, and then the Riviera retreat. I thought that they all kind of worked in really, really nicely, and it kind of fits. So, yeah, that's kind of what we wanted. Some of them are a little bit weird, I've got to be fair. Wouldn't necessarily thought that my wedding stories would go in here, but there is quite a few sort of debug items that I used from that pack. So yeah, you've got one expansion pack, one game pack, and then 2 kits. No stuff packs, but hey, stuff packs are very kind of limiting, shall we say. Anyhow, this is kind of how it's all going in here. So we've got some little garden spaces with some plants and stuff like this coming in here. So there's some at the front as well, but most of kind of what I was working on was sort of waterfront, because I felt like that was probably more important than kind of the land side of this build. So I really wanted to kind of focus kind of more on that and how that looks and things like that, because I think this is probably the angle that you're going to see this house off. Don't worry, I do realise how stupid that palm tree is when it's on a dock over the water. It does get removed at the end, and I place in one of those little sort of trees. You'll sort of see that later on. Yeah, I didn't quite think of logistics and how it wouldn't really work having a giant palm tree like that in the little garden space there. I also removed this here. I could have just made this deck a little bit bigger. It just doesn't feel right. I tried to get it in as best as I can, it just did not work. So yeah, that goes as well. But it's quite a short video. It was actually a really quick build to do, I've got to be honest. I was actually quite shocked of how quickly I managed to get this done. So yeah, you're seeing a little bit more than what I would normally, because I feel like I didn't have that much to cut out. I was really quick, which is so not like me, but I think because it's a small house as well, I mean, only having like 2 bedrooms and there was not a lot of clutter, it was, yeah, I think I managed to do this in like an hour and a half. So super quick build for me, where I'm normally like 4+ hours. It's actually shocking how quickly this all went together. But anyway, we're using here some of the kits. So we obviously got that sort of nice orange kind of swatch from the Riviera Retreat and all like their wicker furniture, and we use quite a bit of that in here. And I do bring out a lot of sort of yellows and oranges for how all of this works, and I think it comes across really, really nicely in here. Trying with that sort of colour palette as well. Sort of, it's really summery and really nice, and it pops really well, especially against like the turquoise kind of water that we have in the background in here. But I did also want a few little beachy items, so you've kind of got like the, I'm not entirely sure what they are, they're usually on like fishing boats and stuff like that, of like what, but I don't really know what they're for, into there. But I've placed those on the side just to kind of give a little bit more of a kind of watery kind of feel into here as well. And then some outdoor seating and some planters will obviously fill all of those up. Now I was trying here to find the new drinks tray. It seems like it's only here. This is the only place I can find it. So it's in the activities and recreation, and then right at the very bottom is tucked in there. I've had difficulty finding it in quite a few builds now, and the only way I can find it is either by searching by the kit, or I mean I cut it there, but I went through a lot of different categories to try and find that. So yeah, I don't know whether it's not tagged properly or what, I don't know, but maybe it should be put in a better tag. Anyhow, we found it, and I think that's the only one we've actually used out here on that little area within the big sun parasol up over the top into there. Lots of plants coming in, so yeah, you can see I deleted that one there, and we get in some of the big nice tall big planters around the place, which works in there just to give it a little height. And I feel like maybe they're not like put into the ground, they're kind of in their pots, so they're able to move around and things like that. Maybe they're not necessarily plants that are native to that area. So yeah, anyway, that's what I was kind of thinking over here. And then we add in this little extra section here because I really wanted this patio table in here, because I was struggling to find stuff from the Riviera kit that would really work. So in the end, we kind of just deleted it. And yeah, the lighting goes, and then I place this little table here. I think I'll use a little bit more inside like tables and things like that, but I really wanted this little table out here as well, and it just gives a nice little area and a little bit of space to kind of this area, so maybe you can come and have breakfast waterside, maybe dinner, something like that. You can sort of have the waves crashing on shore. That's kind of what I was thinking from my head. And obviously the reference images that I saw had a nice little table. I think it was a slightly bigger table. It was like, because I think this cabin, I'm not really sure what they called it, actually sleep for, which is what this one does in here. So it was like a bigger kind of a 4-seater table rather than just 2 that I had placed in here. But then you also have a table inside that is fine in there. So I've done this as like 2 couples, kind of like 2 sort of main bedrooms. So you can either have the one downstairs, or then you can climb the little ladder, and that takes you up to the sort of bedroom above in here. But anyway, this is the front area, so this is really kind of like a little small area. There's not really much I really wanted to do in here. I just wanted to kind of keep it incorporated into sort of the world. So lots of the same sort of native kind of plants coming along here, and then also sort of footpaths that kind of look like you can kind of access different areas from this lot. So kind of like that it's part of the lot, but not part of the lot, if that really makes any sense. so like you can still walk through it, but it's not so restrictive that it's only for the people living there, if that makes any sense. Like as soon as you sort of walk up the stairs, that's kind of the lot, like your personal space sort of thing. Anyhow, using some of these new stones. Now I like these stones, but we need way more variants of them. There's only 2, and I do actually try to change some of them, thinking that they may be different stones and just different colours, and we could get away with it. You can't, unfortunately. I want more, whether it's more in like these swatches in this style, or just more of these in general, but we definitely need more of them coming in here, because it was difficult to do, and it looks so samey. Like we normally do them with like there's debug versions of those, but they're just like either square or kind of round stones, and it can be difficult to try and make it look different and not just a par for the same sort of stones. But yeah, anyway, we're now working on the indoor floor plan. So this is actually quite a small space in here, and I mean it's quite a small lot, it's quite a small sort of build internally. There's obviously lots of sort of land on the outside, but decided to have a bathroom downstairs with 1 bedroom, and then kind of like an all-in-one, so kind of like a kitchen, dining, living room all in there, because I feel like maybe you wouldn't spend too much time in here if it's maybe like part of a big resort or something. Maybe you don't want too much of a kitchen, kind of to maybe it's just like your drink or a snack or something. You wouldn't necessarily cook a proper meal. I have actually put in a full kitchen, so you can live in this lot if you wanted to. You just have to change the lock type. It made it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, uses the kitchen here. I do place in a cooker and a fridge freezer and a sink and stuff, so it's fully workable. It just doesn't really fit too well, if I'm being honest. It feels too big for the size of this slot and this build, but yeah, it's perfectly workable depending if you want to live there or stuff. I didn't actually realise, I'm going to say it in a minute, that and I totally forgot, how long ago was Island Living coming out? A long time. Anyhow, that we didn't get kitchen counters or cabinets with this that match. We kind of got these weird sort of like shelving pieces that just don't really work. So yeah, I had a little bit of fun with those, but yeah, why do you not have cabinets that match? Anyhow, here I've placed down certain clutter pieces that kind of feel like it should work, but also wanting to keep it in that holiday home. So obviously you can totally clutter all of this if you really wanted to, but yeah, that's kind of what I've done. And yeah, here we go, and nope, there's no cabinets, and then go, yeah, they're here. They are here. Yeah. I do place certain items on here, and you'll sort of see it. So I think we get like cookies, or like the biscuit jar, and then some books and stuff. But like nothing actually fixes to these anyway, so I had to use a red shelf to kind of make these kind of work. But anyway, right, enough moaning about the shelving and cabinets in here as well. I kind of wanted this little sort of triangle section here because I needed a way to cover up kind of the extractor fan, kind of air vent for the cooker. So I kind of placed that slightly off centre. I know, cringy, I wasn't overly happy with it either, but it was the only really way to get it to work in there. And so that's what we're doing. And then here is the sort of indoor bigger table, for sort of sleep floor, which I thought was a nice little piece. I can't say I've ever used this table in here. I don't think I've ever used it. Maybe it's like an outside kind of patio table, but never sort of internally, which was a little bit of a strange one. But anyway, I tried to put some clutter on it, but it doesn't really work. And so I have like these flowers and a vase kind of just left over, and so we placed those in the living area in here, which I think works pretty well. I didn't want a too big a television in here, and I wanted everything to work. So you'll sort of see the tables away from the wall, and it's kind of a little bit like, should it really be that far away from the wall? But I didn't really have much of a choice because I needed the table to work, and that's kind of the only real place I could put the table. So yeah, the sofa is away from the wall a little bit, but I think it all kind of fits in there. So we've kind of gone for a little bit more of a pinky kind of corally kind of colour in here, which I think works pretty well. So we've obviously gone from the bright orange kind of colours from outside into a little bit more of a neutral kind of area in here, softer kind of colours coming through. I really wanted to use that sofa, and I didn't have an orange swatch, which was really the deciding factor to go for this sort of pink. And you'll sort of see I went through some colours and different options and things, but then settled on this pink. And then actually the one little armchair from Island Living actually kind of works really well in that sort of pink into there as well. And yeah, we're getting a little bit more artwork and decorations around the place, but nothing kind of too in your face, nothing too sort of major of what you would sort of see in a holiday home or a hotel or something like that. And then a little bit of a mirror around this sort of corner. Now, I didn't get stairs in here. We do just have a ladder going up to the other bedroom, which is why I kind of feel like if you wanted to just have a couple staying here, you could definitely do that and then just not use the upstairs bedroom, just have sort of that downstairs space. Or if you wanted, you could have like maybe swap it out for like twin beds, so like have 2 single beds up there. You can definitely do that and have it as like a kid's sort of bedroom. Sort of different possibilities you could do in there as well. And then this is a little bathroom in here. I don't normally show you these, but it was a small little room that I thought, why not? It didn't take me very long to do. So yeah, tried to keep it all in that sort of soft light wood. And then trying to get a little bit of clutter in, so we get the hand soap and then the toothbrushes as well. I tried to get in this little sort of set of, I think it's like shower, like bath stuff, but it didn't really fit when it came to sort of how I really wanted all of this to work. So in the end I had to get rid of that, and we just placed a little mirror above the sink in there as well, and then a bit of a rug coming down in there as well. As I say, nothing too major for that sort of room. And then this is sort of, I'm going to call this the main bedroom because I feel like I spent a little bit more time decorating this one, and there's a little bit more stuff sort of in here rather than the room upstairs. So we kind of have a different wallpaper in here, which is kind of like the woven kind of pattern in here against the sort of where the bed is. And then using those little, they're like candles in like metal jars. I'm not really sure what the technical term or what they're probably called is, but I thought they looked in there really nicely, and they had like that sort of gold sort of swatch with like orange kind of flowers, which obviously works for the exterior of this build in here. And you have these really nice big front sort of windows on both sides, and then there is some on the sort of far side, but I've covered those up a little bit with putting the dresser in there as well, and then a nice little rug, and then a little sofa in here. Comes, we are going speeding through this video. So this is the upstairs bedroom. I did really want to use it as slightly different kind of bed, different kind of layout, but in the end we kind of go for something like this. Obviously we have the ladder coming up. There's no real door into here, so it's a little bit more exposed to kind of anybody downstairs. But we've kind of gone for this darker kind of wood in here, with then a pure white bedding, which I thought was quite nice because it breaks it up from sort of the colours that we have used in here. And some bedside tables and another fan. They have put a lot of fans in, something I don't tend to do. I've got to be honest, I don't tend to use them. I feel like maybe some of the houses that I build are kind of more like British inspired, maybe it's like they're older houses or they're kind of UK inspired, so I don't tend to place them too often because we just don't have the heat in the UK. I say that. This summer is probably going to be a school chat, having said that now. But anyway, we're putting in some blinds and curtains and things like that all around the house. But we are quickly coming up to to the end of this. So if you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. You can also subscribe to me here, or you can follow me on pretty much all social medias. The links to those are down in the description, and also the lot ID and things like that as well. But until next time, bye everyone!